Hello guys and welcome to Football Manager 14 Becoming Legends. And like I said, it was Regen Day. First of all, I snapped up a few Regens which weren't regenerated at my club but were free agents. For some reason the clubs didn't sign them on. First one I signed, Nicky Clayton. He looks pretty tasty. None of these are world class to be honest, but he could become a very good player, especially for the SPL. Assistant expecting to reach 4-star potential. I like his attributes. He's the sort of centre midfielder I like. He's very physical. He's going to be a box-to-box player, and I think he's going to be a very good player. Hopefully he'll develop nicely. Only 15 years old, so he could become an absolute star. But yeah, again, he could flop. With these youngsters, you know, you can't tell. You can't tell at this age. I also got Stuart McQueen. Not much potential for him, according to my assistant. I like his attributes. I think he's got him in the right places. Very low first touch, but I think that develops really quickly with the youngsters. It's a very easy attribute to improve. I like him. I think he looks alright. I wanted another young striker. He looks decent. He looks very decent. I also got this guy called Chris Kevan, a centre-back. I wanted a couple of centre-backs. I needed to get some young centre-backs in. I wanted to start the centre-back cycle going. I got Chris Kevan. He was also a free agent. And he looks alright. 2.5 stars. But yet again, he's got the attributes in the places I like. A bit short for my liking, but I presume he'll grow. He's only 15 years old. He looks like an alright player. But going on to the players which actually came through our youth academy, we got an absolute star. First one I've got to show you is this guy, Ian Watt. The best of the bunch by far. He looks very good. Potentially world class. Potentially a Scottish international quality right back. And that was one of the positions I really wanted to strengthen. I either wanted to get a right back or a striker. Or maybe even a centre mid, a centre holding mid. But right back was probably a really good choice. He's going to come in for Phil Bardsley in a couple of years. I've played him already. He seems alright. He kept his composure in the game, and he's got some great mental attributes. Hopefully they'll push up. Of course they'll push up with age. He's got the attributes in the right places as well. He looks like a very good player. I want to know what you guys reckon about this guy. 15 years old. He looks really, really good. High passing as well, so he can go forward as much as he can defend. Really want to make him very defensive. That's the sort of fullbacks I like for this formation. Other ones I picked up were where are they? Oh, I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. This guy, Craig Castley. Not too sure about this guy. He lacks a lot of pace, but he's very powerful in the air. To be 6'2" at 16 years of age, you've got to be a bit of a beast. And he scored in the match when the youth players, the youth academy plays against our under 18s. He could be a good player. He could be a good player. Not my kind of striker, but he could be decent. He could be one to sell in a couple of years. Hopefully his value will be quite high. But there's a few others. You know, there's Callum Smith. I'm not going to go on about many of them. Another centre mid there. Pause if you want to have a look at his attributes. This guy as well. My assistant's got a lot of hope for him. He's high determination. I like that, so he'll probably grow quickly. I find that happens. The higher determination, the higher they grow. But yeah, there's a few. But let's jump to the games. Let's see how we did in the games. Last time you joined us, we drew to Inverness. Then we went on to Motherwell. A very nice game. I enjoyed this game muchly. I really enjoyed this game. 3-0, as you can see. Played McGowan on right back here. We started to play McGowan on the right back, on the right hand side, and we've had a lot of injuries. Stephen Hendry is injured in this game, and we've got a few more injuries in these games. But Tiki, though, as you can see on this left hand side, he's been very good on that left hand side. He just attacks those fullbacks, gives them hardly any time, and Wotherspoon, what a great goal on the volley that was. A very nice goal. As you can see, Kieran Westwood, a great goal kick. He's pretty good at his goal kicks. Hodsix somehow finds it to the midfield. I don't know how he always does that. Baitiki again attacking the fullbacks. Cuts inside, finds Kikaretti, McKee, and look at this passing play. This was a joy to behold. Osman to Wotherspoon. Back to Kikaretti. Back to McKee. Back to Osman. Back to McKee. Look at this passing. Beautiful triangles there. Triangles. Barcelona style. Baitiki again on that left hand side. Back to McKee. Plays in Hodsich. If he gets the ball in the box, he's going to score, you know that. Armin Hodzik still scoring goals. 2-0 against a very strong Motherwell side. And in the late stages of the game, we get a corner, an own goal by Chucks Enike, who's actually a very good player in this save at the moment. He's developed really well. On loan from Arsenal. A great game. Kikaretti getting the man of the match. It's nice to see him stepping up into that first team role. When I give him his chance, he really isn't disappointing now. As you can see from his attributes, an average rating of 7, which is very good considering he's had 6 off the bench, and you tend to get lower ratings when you come off the bench. 3 assists and 2 goals at a very young age, 21 years of age in your first season. He's still got a lot of growing to do, but he looks like he's going to be a very important player for us. Then went on to Hibernian, we drew 0-0. 2 red cards. They got a red card very early. We should have made the most of it. And in the end, Baitiki got sent off for diving in the penalty box in the last minute. But look at his attributes. He's developing really well. Sign-man Baitiki. Haven't heard much about him in real life. Apparently there's another Baitiki on the scene. I believe I'm not sure what nationality he's from. If you know that, let me know. But apparently there's a Baitiki in this game which is even better than this Baitiki. But this guy is developing really nicely. He looks like he could be worth millions. He looks like he could be worth millions in 3-4 years' time. Hopefully we can make him reach that valuation at this club. But then the last game we played Dundee United. It's the game before the League Cup final, so I rested a lot of players. As you can see, Hodzik didn't start, Ben Greenhouse starting, no Joe McKee, no Wotherspoon. You know, it really was a second-rate team. And then we played Ian Watt, that young regen I showed you earlier, the very nice right back. And it was a game we should have won, but we didn't. We didn't win it, and it was disappointing. And we lost Kieran Westwood to injury, which was even more disappointing. We also injured Jamal Blackman when he came on off the bench, but he didn't get any serious injuries. And as you can see, Zigoni here, trying to chase it down. Zigoni really doesn't look that good. He hasn't scored yet for St Johnstone. I don't know why. He doesn't look that energetic. He doesn't look that dangerous in front of the opposition's goal. But as you can see, Ballatoni on the right hand side playing it with O'Donnell. They're having too much space. We're supposed to be closing them down. The players just don't look that bothered, but it is a second-rate team. As you can see, Kikaretti started. Somehow they find space. They managed to find some space. They keep finding space. Quinn on the right hand side. An easy pass into Patterson. Shouldn't be going in. Those goals should not be going in. Poor defending here. And then they get a second goal. Dow with a corner. We're really bad at defending corners. It's something we should work on. I should practice it in my match preparation, but I don't. But then it looked like we started to come back in the 80th minute. Corner, Hodzik hits the post. I don't know how somehow that finds its way into the goal. Kilku Kenny came in his first ever goal for St Johnstone, but really it wasn't. And yet again another corner, finds Hodzik again, comes out. Greenhouse picks it up in the midfield, plays it to Wotherspoon on the right hand side. Another cross into Kilkenny. Don't know what happens there. Another sloppy goal, but Kikaretti, the other centre mid, both the centre mids getting on the score sheet, bring it back to 2-0. And at this point, I thought this could be the comeback of the century, but it went the other way. Our attacking football really hasn't been paying off in these situations, as Stevenson finds Patterson again. Dow and Patterson linking up beautifully. They have done all game, and Patterson just scored. I blame that to Jamal Blackman's injury, but maybe it was just poor goalkeeping from Jamal Blackman. I'll let him off with that one because he was injured. Thankfully he's not injured for the League Cup final next episode, but we've lost a lot of key players. We've lost Westwood, we've lost Stephen Hendry. Oh, no, that's actually it. It's not too bad. I want to show Pascasio again because he's gone straight into the first team and he's developing so nicely. He looks like a solid centre-back now, absolutely solid. We're going to the Scottish Premiership. We're third place now. Dundee United are pushing us. I think it's going to be between us and Dundee United for third place. Hopefully Aberdeen won't chase us down. But I think we've definitely got that top space in the league. I think it's even mathematically impossible for us to not now. But it's looking very exciting. League Cup final next game. Tune in next episode, guys, because it's going to be live. And we've got the 2 other games in the following episode. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.